What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Ryan Myers Expeditions. Today we are inside, but do not fret because this is going to be freaking cool. We've got Justin Lee here, and he thinks he's here for one reason, but he doesn't know why he's actually here.
I was told that I was going to come here and make fun of Ryan on videos.
You can
and I'm really excited about
You
that.
can still make fun of me, but we are about to watch a vintage film that me and Justin did together. We have called it the Ryan Myers and Justin Lee love story. It is freaking hilarious. We're going to watch it with you guys, break it down, tell the story. You know what I'm talking about now?
The New Zealand video.
Yes! How excited are
What is
you?
it, Nangwatu or something like that?
I don't know how to pronounce it, but it is incredible. It's an incredible film our friend David Ochoa made for our really, really good friend Wally Bird. It was a Hecs film, but you guys haven't had the chance to see it. We were trying to figure out how to show it to you guys, and we thought what better way than to have Justin Lee here and watch it together and talk about some of the things that were going on in the film and kind of tell him how wonderful I did in that spearfishing tournament that we did.
We did frolic together holding hands on the beach. I mean, that was one of the things they asked us to do. Was
Many
walk
times.
in the water,
Walk in the water,
knee-high,
walk out of the
and look
water.
into each other's eyes.
At sunrise. Walk into the water, walk out of the water.
It was a special moment.
Point over there. Pointing, guys.
They're like, just point out there.
Just point over there.
Just point over there. Where are you going to go? That way.
Samagram, will you play the film?
Oh, I know it already.
Right? The sound. There's nothing like the
sound.
David Ochoa quality of the beautiful,
Look at
just the beautiful editing, man. It's beautiful.
See, that's what I love about New Zealand. You know, like, everybody's just like, oh, it's green, it's green, it's green. And then you look at it a little closer, and then you got your purples, and you got your yellows, and you got like 50 shades of green.
But the beauty on the land is then reflected in the water.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same.
Why do I do it? Why do I compete? What drives me to...
This is amazing. Why do I complete? Why do I do it? Why do I go to other parts of the world? Why? Why do I leave my family behind? So I can hang out with this guy.
Wait, can you state the whole thing? What do you got?
No. Why? Why do I do it?
Alright, play.
to go to water.
Look at that face, dude. That's look of intent.
That was the look of unhappiness at 7
All
a.m.
of the odds are against us. What makes us want to
That shark had a crooked mouth.
It's all the experiences.
How badly do you miss the David Ochoa filming, though? I love
He's
that.
so
guy.
good. Look at that gut.
I
Was it
went.
music in my gut or your gut?
My God.
But for me, at the end of the day,
Do you remember
the stories that
For all of us, walking through the tide pools.
hopefully
That's about how rough it looked the
get
whole
her
time.
interested in the ocean and get her interested in traveling and seeing much of the land while on Earth. I mean, as a father, that's all you can do is spark interest and passion.
You were talking about Elle
Yeah.
when Elle was little.
She was just, I think she was only, no, I think, is this? Yeah, she was born in May, and then this was in February?
This was 3 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
No way.
And Elle's about to turn 4.
Wow.
This is in
Wow.
February, so that's crazy.
These David Ochoa shots.
He is amazing. He truly is.
That's one part of the drive, and another part of the drive is I'm a competitive person at nature. You know, at my core, I'm competitive. You know, and that's the key in spearfishing. It's such an individual sport. You know, it's all about, oh, what place did you get? What kind of fish have you shot? What's your biggest fish? It's not what was the biggest fish shot on the boat today, or what'd you guys team place? You know, and that's the biggest challenge is with
You see that point?
He's become a great friend.
That's point number one.
You know, and he's a very, very, very talented spear fisherman and freediver. You know, I'm his biggest cheerleader. You know, he does things in the water that
Justin Lee, Ryan Myers love
It
story.
is. It's so good.
you know, I see that drive and it pushes me. You know, as much of a cheerleader as I am of his and a fan of his.
I'm a fan of yours.
I, in the same
heard.
breath, don't want to beat anyone more badly in a competition than him.
You beat me this one.
I beat you in this one. You just carried the stringer.
I just towed the float.
Do you guys want to explain that?
No, we'll get to that one. We'll get to that one. That's coming up.
This is the frolicking.
You did. You were like, walk. They were like, walk out there,
Justin have been
splash.
That's the look of why are we doing this? Where are we walking to?
He hunts the way a hunter hunts on land, but on
Point
water.
number 2, bro. That's 2 things.
2 points.
Something to hide behind.
This is true though. Like this was when I was just beginning to figure out the hunting aspect of spearfishing. You know, like I don't know how I got to this point.
This is how you have to hunt.
Before this.
They're small.
I remember,
fish.
I think the first time that we dove together, and like reef dove.
Yeah.
You know, with Kimmy and Justin.
Yeah.
You know, we went and dove mahi-mahis, and then we went outside.
Yeah.
I remember you shooting uhus and roys.
Uh-huh.
And I remember thinking, this freaking Howley kid, come on, shoot something for real.
Yeah.
And then I'd watch you lie on the bottom
For
and
like
basically
2.5
go to sleep
minutes. Yeah.
and not come up with anything.
Nothing.
And I'd be like,
They'd all ask me where the fish were.
and I'd go down and I'd lie down and I'd shoot a moo and I'd come up and it's like, Ryan, there's a huge school down there, bro. Go get one.
Oh.
Be gone for 5 minutes, come back up,
Yeah.
lie back down on the bottom, and that's when I think the biggest difference between, because you're kind of the first free diver guy that I've ever dove with.
Yeah.
You know, everybody else that I've ever dove with growing up was 3-prong.
Was hunting
spearfish.
first. Yeah.
Exactly. Was putting food on the table.
Yep.
And you know, growing up in Hawaii, putting food on the table, if it's not with a 3-prong, takes a little bit of skill.
For sure.
Takes a lot of bit of lying down and really being able to read the fish. And I remember watching you and just thinking it was so funny.
No, dude.
Because he would lie down there forever, and I remember thinking, why is he lying there?
Hawaii's hard.
Why is he not sitting by that rock?
Hawaii, I killed a lot of fish, and I thought I could kill fish, you know. And then you come to Hawaii, and it is not the same. Like you better know.
Hogfish.
Yeah, exactly. Hogfish and black rippers. That's right.
He really is the best diver I've ever seen.
Justin Lee love story.
This shot right here coming up of you. I think not that one. That was pretty cool.
The other one.
No, the one that you took the forever far shot. I remember thinking, I was like, one of
This
this
was ridiculous. That was a
I still
ridiculous
have a
clip
lot to learn.
with the 2 freaking
I wanna be the
snappers.
best
Oh, those 2 snappers.
Yeah.
Who filmed that right there?
That was you, bro. You're the only one that could take like a 30-pound camera down to 40-something meters.
And that's why we've come here to New Zealand.
To compete.
Good old New Zealand.
I love New Zealand, man.
I
can't
love
wait
it
to go
too.
back.
I want to go back and hunt it.
Like when I was watching that last video that you guys are critiquing,
Yeah.
and you guys are like, this guy's going so fast. It's like, do you not remember the currents?
Yeah.
You cannot control your speed in that current. You just gotta go with it. When the guy was snooping those big snappers.
Yeah. I can't believe how much I didn't get the snooping, and like now it makes like clear as day. No.
It's the glorified dive bomb.
This place.
Okay, so pause for a second. So why were we here, Justin? What were we doing here?
We got invited to go to the New Zealand Spearfishing Nationals down there.
The national championship there, which is the first nationals I've ever done other place.
And the cool thing is they had some big name spearfishing
International
down there.
guys.
So, you know, you had Yachty, which ended up winning his 2nd world championship.
We're
in
coming to
Portugal.
that. Yeah.
You know, and you had Giannis Sedaris, which in my opinion is probably
Best in the
the
world.
best deep water diver there is in the world. You know, and you had a couple of European guys, and then you had a couple of people from the States and Hawaii that
They were there. I don't know
were
why.
there. Yeah, we got invited.
How did we fit in with those
I think
guys?
Wally
Yeah, it was
pulled up
Wally
the
Bird.
strings.
Wally Bird was there.
But it was
Yeah.
that's so that we were down there for. And was it Great Barrier Island?
This is Great Barrier Island, and so we're there to do this spearfishing tournament. And then while we were there, David Ochoa was making this art piece on us, and that's kind of where we're at right now. Is this spearfishing tournament I think is going to start right now.
And the cool thing with the spearfishing tournaments down there is it's totally team oriented.
100%.
There isn't anything individual about it at all. To the point where
You don't even weigh your own fish.
Yeah, you're both connected to the same float. One is 3 meters away, and one can be up to 30 meters away. So you're always attached to one another, and that's that. You know, just emphasizes that one up,
It's
one
safety.
down.
Yeah.
It's safety.
You cannot separate. You're literally attached to each other.
And which is really cool too is like you can scout wherever you want to scout, but you have no idea where the zones are going to be.
For sure.
You know, so that you wake up and you're like, oh, okay, it's going to be Rabbit's Foot, and it's going to be from this point to that point, and you go out there and you see the buoys and you don't cross those buoys. And you know, that was the biggest challenge I think for us was, you know, they all look.
We hit a lot of challenges.
The terrain looks all the same, but yet it's the wrong rocks or it's the wrong
The wrong type of whatever, which makes so much sense out here. Like you look at the gravel and you're like, oh, it's the right kind of gravel. Or you look at the gravel and like, there's the wrong kind of gravel, dude. Like there's no fish there. You know.
Exactly.
But over there, it took a long time. To
Very different conditions than we're used to. It's got cold, dirty water,
It was harsh over there.
and sometimes very rough. And the underwater landscape really mirrors the landscape on land. And it's really raw,
Yeah.
rugged underwater.
It's gotta be one of the prettiest
Lots of
places I've ever been.
kelp, greenery, and surgy waves, and in this environment, totally different fish live. And that's the big name of the game here, is learn what these new fish do, where they live, and then how to hunt them.
It's kind of wild to be so spoiled with yellowtail.
Yeah.
You know, to kind of come from like Hawaii,
This level,
the,
everyone
California, where
is
they're so sought after, and
amazing.
then to go over here where it's like, sure, you can have one if you want one, like we'll
Yeah.
deal with it. You know, like it was very, it was a totally different. They were everywhere. Like I cannot express to you guys how many of these fish we saw versus how many we shot.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's the crazy thing too, is like, you know, coming from Hawaii where, you know, your big fish is
a 40-pound
4 pounds.
fish is crazy,
Yeah.
crazy.
And you're
Yeah.
seeking the 40-pound fish. It's
Yeah.
like going out there and looking for a lure every day.
Yeah.
But you come back and you have hamachi sashimi,
Yeah, yeah.
and you're making spicy poke with
And they
them.
were delicious. They were
And you
delicious.
don't need to worry about ciguatera.
They were everywhere. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And they're strong. They're so strong.
divers. And what it really comes down to is strategy. Do I go
Sam
left? Do I go right?
Sound
Who's
okay?
more prepared than everybody else? We're not going to have the edge of the local knowledge. We're only going to have what we learn in 2 weeks of preparation. So any little piece of gear or equipment or technique that we can use that they don't have, we'll take it.
The farthest shot is. Dude, that's like almost up to...
the Hecs technology comes in.
There's not even a single wrap.
That gives me
No, you went past your single wrap.
Did I? Was that a double wrap gun?
Yeah.
Maybe.
That was your roller.
Maybe.
That was a good, like, 15-foot shot.
Is that my claim to fame shot? Is that the one that was on the Salty Crew?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
My brother is like there, like as like a a fan at the Salty Crew, whatever show in California, and he's like, "Bro, I see your fins. I can see you. That's you." You know.
It has your last name.
It has my last name right there. Yeah.
That's like, how did you guys think that was Lee? It says Myers. Too late now.
It's close enough. That's my claim to fame in life. How sick was that boat though?
to get closer to my
The
fish.
Hex boat.
The Hex boat was
Yeah.
ridiculous.
On top of that, simply knowing that the suit is blocking my full energy signal, it gives me a serious mental advantage over any of the other competitors.
Look at your hair
Not wearing
wafting.
the Hex
You know,
technology.
man.
That was some majestic slow-mo hair wafting.
But this is me to a T.
You
How
know,
many
the day
poops
and
do
the
you
hours
take
prior to
before
the
the
start of
start?
competition,
For sure.
I just
Poop
get
is
excited.
important.
You have to.
It's so excited. I got to poop. If I don't have a good poop, it's not good.
It's
But
not
it's that
good.
excitement
It's not.
that, oh,
It's a
I
bad
love
start
it.
to the
That's what
tournament,
keeps me
that's for
coming
sure.
back.
You know, and but
It's
You know,
almost
the
like forgetting your
excitement
wetsuit.
all disappears.
Do you remember that?
What?
Remember when I forgot my wetsuit on?
Oh, yeah. And I had to run to the other side of the freaking island.
You raced that rental car to the other
Bro,
side
I
of the
don't
road,
know how.
over the mountains.
Wrong side of the road, shifting with the right hand. I almost died for your wetsuit.
Well, thank you.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what happened.
You would have been cold. You would have shot the same amount of fish. You just would have been cold.
You guys were there with the wetsuit company.
We
That
were-
was
we
probably
did.
the most important
The
part.
wetsuit company brought us there. It wasn't my finest moment.
as soon as I slip into the water, as soon as I slip into the water, I get to my good place. I get to my calm place, and I just got to do what I do.
Craziest format.
It's so crazy. That's how we should do Hawaii Nationals.
I know.
It's so crazy. You're
So pause for a second.
sprinting. And then it's time to dive.
It's time to dive, which that's not my kind of diving. Like, I don't swim against the current and then bust out a 60-foot dive and then lay on the bottom and then wait for that John Dory or whatever it was. Like, that was so freaking hard. So basically what that is we all drive our boats to a spot and then everybody jumps off and you're all in your pairs, but you have one float that you have to tow between you. But you also have these two lines, and there's one line that's 3 meters and one line that can be up to 40 meters. And
40 meters,
so you can
okay.
have two guns, but they have to be attached to those two lines. So you can swap back that one long line back and forth, or whatever combination you want to do for your own strategy. But you have to physically be attached to those two lines at all times. So that keeps you on top of each other, keeps you really, really safe, but makes it freaking hard. Like, that was hard.
The hardest part was dragging you. That's no,
right.
but it does, and
It is.
It's the craziest thing is, and then I mean, growing up in Hawaii,
You swim,
you swim,
and then you're a swimmer.
but
He shore dives his whole life. Plus, then he goes to college for swimming. And I show up with my little freediving legs that are made to go up and down. That is all. They go up, they go down. I get on a boat, I jump off the boat, I swim up, I swim down, I call the boat to me, the boat comes to me, it picks me up. So New Zealand was a serious difference. I mean, we go diving now out here on, and I don't even offer to carry the jump. Justin does not want to wait for me. It's full on like, no, you take all the stuff, and I'll try to keep up with you with all the stuff.
But I think the biggest, the hardest thing about that competition too is you're connected. And out here in Hawaii, you dive with
You're real.
what is that? A reel gun.
You got a real gun. You know
And
float line.
Yeah, there's nothing. So you're nothing attached.
Yeah.
So you got nothing. You've got 100 feet of rubber rope dragging through the
That you're
water,
trying to snoop
and
through
still
freaking
trying
kelps.
to freaking do this and
Yeah.
get pulled back and forth.
Going through kelp.
So like even when we scouted and stuff like that, it was a challenge that we didn't even think about.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like on the day of
As we've seen.
competition, when the current really got picked up, your job as the guy on the top on the 3-meter one was to stay above so that
Push
you
that
didn't
float.
have this float
Yeah.
pulling the diver down below.
No, it was crazy. It was a whole new set of problems. So this is the weigh-in here. I don't know if this is day 1 or day 2,
Day one.
but I don't know, did we do okay on day 1? Which way did
We did really well on day 1. Day
Yeah.
2 we didn't do so well.
Was that what happened?
Well,
I pushed this
we
all.
did well on day 1, and then everybody else, the other guys
That's
just
what it
did
was.
way better
Every
than us.
eligible fish that's worth points. But what people don't see is the weeks and sometimes months that we spent in that same location, diving those same waters, just looking at these same fish. And we'll look at them, we will figure out where they live and what they do and where they sleep at night, and often give them funny names, and then on tournament day
What was
try
it?
and come back to them.
BDG? Big Dumb Grouper? In
Big friendly
Greece?
BFG.
BFG, Big Friendly Grouper.
Yeah. Well,
We never got him though. He wasn't
we
that
did.
friendly.
We didn't even go look for him.
I did.
The end though. After
Yeah.
100 people already looked for him.
Probably. Ryan's idea in freaking Greece was, we should give everybody these coordinates. I was like, no.
That's not what I did.
You wanted to.
It was because we didn't want to go there.
He wanted to be basically do the biggest F you middle finger. Be like, bro, I got so many big groupers.
We
I'm
showed
gonna
that
give
big
you one."
grouper. We didn't give the. We showed it online.
But you wanted to give
We
the
showed it online,
coordinates.
and then we found out that everybody else had already seen that big friendly grouper.
When we sat there and 3 other boats came and we're like, did you guys check him out? Is he there? Wait, what? Is he there? Yeah?
You
Good?
can't go to
Okay.
that spot. You already know. Everybody else already has it.
Yeah. I went and... Yeah, that
You
was-
went and you didn't go
the
first.
second day was sad.
Yeah.
This was
Was-
a very, very sad day.
Sorry, was this the spot that we kept seeing like the Greek team's boat roll up to?
No. This was another
The
spot.
Greek teep wasn't it
That was
Giannis Rock?
Manolis. We named it Manolis or something.
But he
Or
had Giannis
Sedaris.
Rock.
I had
too.
Manolis.
Sedaris Rock.
I had Sedaris Rock. I had Manolis
Didn't
Rock.
Sedaris actually shoot that marrow off of it and you shot your gold block?
Me and Sedaris were side by side diving the last rock, and nobody had hit it yet. But I was in the water doing my breathe up when he rolled up. So it was kind of like, what's up? I'm on Sedaris Rock. Goodbye. I'm going down 150 feet. That was
What happened when you got back up?
I shot that fish. That was 165.
But what happened?
I melted.
He
I melted.
He almost died.
I almost died.
His face melted. He got
Yeah.
hot
Decompression
flashes.
sickness, but decompression sickness, that's a story for another day.
But 9% of them we'll never see again.
Like
So
BFG.
these
That's true.
crates of
God, how many fish in tournaments you never see again.
is
Portugal, man. I thought I was
such
gonna
a
win.
small part of what a competition
Yep.
is all about.
Yeah. Remember that camera you used
One
to
of the
carry around?
coolest things
do.
about these
Yeah,
events
look at that. Sedaris!
are the incredible divers that you
This
get.
is the
Yanni.
best part of the tournaments, though.
Yeah.
Right there, we've got Jody Lott, who went on in the next World Championship to win World Champion. Ridiculous. In his hometown in Portugal, but still
And
ridiculous.
his second championship, his first champion, he went into freaking Goliath's house and beat Goliath. He beat Spain.
Spain, in Spain, which is insane.
insane.
Yeah.
And
And the next to him there is Giannis Sideris, who we've mentioned before. We both kind of think is one of the best in the
Is the
freaking
best.
world. Like, it's hard to say who the best in the world is, but like if you had to take 2 or 3 people, like that guy would be in it.
him against the world.
in
for
anybody's
sure.
book. In anybody's book. So he's hoping. I'm rooting for him this year, man.
Yeah.
I think-
If they're gonna hold it, I think he's
I-
him and Jaco Mamara, what's his name?
George
The Italian?
Vasilis?
No. The Italian.
Oh, Giacomo de Moya.
Jaco de Moya.
Yeah.
That's going to be a hard guy to beat
Yeah.
in his own background.
Giacomo de Moya and Giannis Sideris.
I was talking to him and I was like, you guys going to host it? He's all like, I don't know. I think so. I was like, you guys are crazy. He's all like,
Yeah.
but we're not getting any younger.
Yeah. No,
You
they
know,
are.
And so,
They're running out.
and that's the crazy thing is like Giannis is like 6 or 7 years older than I am.
Yeah.
And Yachty is 3 years older than me.
Yeah.
You know, so you got these guys that,
No,
you know, they're just older guys.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
And then you got Ryan Myers, 22 years old. How old are you in this video?
I'm 30 now.
You're 30 now.
I'm 30 now.
This was 3 years ago. You're 27.
Yeah.
You're a baby.
I am a baby. It's just getting started.
Playing darts with and drinking around a table with, and just getting to hear these stories. You'd never get to hang out with these people unless you were here, came to these competitions. On top of all this is the travel, and that's
This was one of the coolest
what I
places.
want
Going
to
to
do.
Barrier
I
Island.
want to see the world my own way,
Mercury Island.
as much of it as I can, and on my own terms. I want to float around from destination to destination, places where people spend their whole life trying to get to, and that's just another stop on my year. And every single day I get to do what I love the most.
What a cool freaking trip.
Yeah.
What a cool freaking trip.
Well, I mean, we got to fly in a helicopter.
We did.
Did some cool barrel rolls in a helicopter.
Don't remind Sam.
Sam, I thought she was screaming because she loved it.
No, she wasn't.
When we saw Soup Fish, met cool people.
Yeah.
New Zealand and Kiwis are just such
The Kiwis
fun
are the best.
people.
The Kiwis are the best. And
Yeah.
it is really, really special to get to go see. I mean, we've done a lot of tournaments here together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the United States and for Team USA and around the world for Team USA. But to get to go see how another country does their nationals and participate in it is very unique. I feel like not too many people get to see that. You know, it was special.
For sure. And it goes to show you what kind of beasts that the Kiwi divers are. You know, there's guys that are swimming against that hardcore.
Dwayne.
Yeah, Dwayne. Freaking
Dwayne.
Jackson just won his.
Did Jackson beat Dwayne?
Jackson won this last nationals with his partner Paulie.
Beat Dwayne.
I don't know if Dwayne was in it, but I just know he was the last.
Dwayne didn't go.
But
No offense, Jackson, but if Dwayne didn't go, no, those guys are absolute animals. A couple of those guys. I mean, Dwayne is what, 9 times, 10 times, something national champion. I can't even imagine that.
you know, and it's not like, you know, he's only getting against, you know, just anybody.
Those guys are crazy. They're all
Everybody are
phenomenal.
national champions, and everybody
Yeah.
was. I mean, arguably some of the better divers in America, yourself and myself, you know, that are in the competition world at least,
Yeah,
went down there and
didn't do anything.
we placed 7th. You know, and
we worked our butt off for it.
we were a distant 7th.
Yes.
You know, it wasn't like, oh, if we shot a couple more fish
Yeah,
here, we
yeah.
shot a couple more fish there.
We weren't
No,
close.
it was.
We weren't close.
It was definitely pretty humbling.
Yeah.
You know,
for sure.
and it was pretty epic though. I mean, I would go back there
I'd go back.
in a heartbeat.
It's one of the things I really want to do, and especially like with this channel and like kind of how I view my future competition life is like there's a couple really special tournaments around the world. Like I would love to go to the Australian Nationals. You know, I'd love to go back to the
He
New
needs to
Zealand
bring me
Nationals.
along though.
No,
You guys
obviously.
got that YouTube?
Someone to
They need to bring Justin along.
You gotta bring me along. If you guys want to watch the full uninterrupted version of this film, it's on the Explore YouTube channel. I'll put that link down below. That was really, really cool. I hope you guys enjoyed watching that film. It's something that, you know, was really special to the two of us. I haven't seen it myself in a very long
I'm
time.
trying to think of the last time I watched this. It's been a couple of years.
It's been a while. It's been a while. But if you guys like this format and you want to see us do some more stuff like this, let us know down below. Like this video if you haven't already, and then we'll see you next time right here on Ryan Myers Expeditions.